summaries of a long career in journalism that started out of the blue in Croydon.
When I came out of the army in 54, 55, the only thing I wanted to become was a reporter. I did a short parachute course with a parachute regiment in the Territorial Army, and after that there was kind of nobody really wanted me to become a reporter. In my family, the tradition was, well, you've got to become a doctor or a pilot or something terribly sort of upper middle class and successful and professional. Accountant, doctor, lawyer, anything like that. I wanted to become a reporter, and my parents took the view that reporters were probably one of the lowest things that one could become. I decided to go to Canada. Canada at that stage was offering cheap tickets to go to Canada and be an immigrant, and I thought I'd go for that. I went to Canada House. I asked them if there was any vacancy for journalists in Canada, but they said if you have no experience, you can't come as one. But they noticed I had a parachute flash, and they said, well, you can become a firefighter. We need people to jump out of planes and put fires out. That sounded all right to me. I was in my 20s. It sounded like the macho thing to do, and I decided to go ahead with it. I told my mother about 3 to 4 weeks before I went. It was the last conversation we had, and I got ready to go, and about a week to 10 days before I was going to Liverpool to take the boat to Canada, I received a letter from here, from Croydon, came out of the blue, and it came from the Croydon Advertiser. So I took a train from Victoria to Croydon, just as I have today, and I came to the offices of the Croydon Advertiser. So why the Croydon Advertiser? Why had they written to me out of the blue, offering me a job, or possibly a job as a reporter? I didn't know then, and frankly I didn't care. It was a great opportunity. So I came here, I saw the proprietor, Arthur Stybie, now sadly dead, great man, great journalist, and a great personality. We sat in his oak-roomed, oak-lined office, and he asked me why I wanted to become a journalist, and I told him that I just liked the idea of wearing a kind of fedora hat and a trench coat, but I felt instinctively this was for me. He did ask me some very clever questions on why my parents had objected, and I told him that was the way they were. And then eventually he said, can you write? And I said, well, I don't know. I hope I can. And he said, well, go into an annex and write me an essay of what you've been doing for the last half hour. Well, of course, I hadn't been doing anything. I'd just been traveling. And it was a clever move, because if you can write about nothing, the chances are you can write about something. So I scribbled an essay, gave it to him. He said he'd look at it and consider what kind of future I might have, and I left. I got, I think within about a week, he offered me a job here as a staff reporter, which I accepted very, very eagerly. I was then about 3 to 4 days away from going to Canada. Aha, you are saying, why did this man write to me out of the blue? Well, I found out many years later, when my mother was close to death, she admitted to me that she had actually written to the Croydon Advertiser in order to stop me going to Canada. Smart move by my mum, and everything worked out well. I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. I had a great chief reporter who taught me how to write and taught me how to move quickly. I stayed here for about 5 years, and when the time came to go, I went sadly, knowing that my arrival here had actually changed my entire life.